Well, hello there, Couch Co-opers, and welcome to another video from Oscar Cooper. 5 more PS4 Couch Co-op games! We've got a very mixed bag, and a slightly embarrassing declaration from yours truly about a PlayStation VR game that I really wanted to show you guys. So the first slot on this 5 is VR. I've never looked at Couch Co-op VR, and there are some cool titles that explore it. One of them being Animal Force, and it was actually an incredible experience. There are a number of modes. One of them is like a first-person shooter mode where the VR wearer is shooting at the players who are running around this crazy room. It's a very good game, but unfortunately, all of the footage never recorded. Something's happening. I'm getting a ding, you know, when you get the notification in the corner, but it's not appearing on my visor. I'm not sure which pad is the recording pad. The whole thing's a damn nightmare. This is retailing at $16 and it's not available physical, to my knowledge. I think that is about right price-wise because it's not a huge game, but it is a cost. And this is something else I'm going to point out, is that anybody who owns the VR headset will know about this, but the Playroom is probably one of the strongest couch co-op experiences that you can have with the headset and up to 4 people. So that's free. That changes the dynamic greatly, I imagine, because do you want to fork out money for a game that's probably not as strong as the freeware that you got when you bought your VR headset? But for anybody who's never played VR or doesn't own a VR headset, it is actually a very vibrant experience. Getting involved with someone wearing the headset and then having your controller and looking at the TV. Particularly the monster mode on this game where you are the monster and you're in real time, you can see your own shadow and you're dodging furniture getting thrown at you by the couch co-op people with you. That is such a good mode. It kind of blew my mind a little bit. As you can also see, I've reluctantly had to use trailer footage, which I never do, and I think it's probably the most embarrassing thing a YouTuber can do. GameWorks is use stock bullshit footage and not actually show the mechanics of a game, you know, that you've discovered. So apologies about that. Both of these games got the hell played out of them last night, but none of it recorded, so I'm just gonna have to take that one on the chin and crack on.
That is amazing.
Adult Swim make games, do they? That was news to me. I wasn't sure if the franchise was connected to the media that gets put out by the channel and all the rest of it. You've only got to look at Rick and Morty, Mr. Pickles, Adult Swim, they know their shit. So I was very interested in this. I'm interested in Rain World as well because it's a survival game and it's got a really hardcore cult following on the internet. If it's the first time you ever clapped eyes on this, then you're in for a bit of a surprise. It's massive, really deep survival game that's got a huge rogue-like elements to it, and it's got a lot of action RPG elements to it, and even granular platform elements to it, including weird backflip double jumps and throwing projectiles and involvement with the AI creatures that exist in this world. You can see straight up how beautiful this is. Look at the way the light follows the player around or gradually shows you the background on the amazing 8-bit/16-bit art style. It's beautiful, but there's some seriously weird shit going on. One of them being it tells you nothing, man. Nothing. It's like a mute that does not want to, it doesn't, and this is a problem because I don't have huge amounts of time to trial and error a game like this. I want to see its couch co-op capabilities as soon as possible. There's a caveat here with that because the single player is the opening to the co-op experience. What I mean is you have to open up loads of stuff to be able to enjoy what's called the arena mode in this game, and that was difficult. I probably would have needed a month to be able to get all of these little things that you can add into the arena to increase your couch co-op experience. As you can see, up to 4 people. And a very large choice of maps. But look at those question marks in the center of the screen there. That's all different enemy types and game furniture additions that I don't have access to because I've only played, you know, the ground level of the one player, which is very annoying because there's huge amounts of depth here. If you think of a game like Towerfall or Ascension or something that's locked in an arena, even that Mutant Assault game, you can have a versus choice, or you can go to the sandbox mode, which is where the interesting stuff happens. You will pull up a panel, a bit like a map editor, and add all these different things into the arena to make it really interesting. And with the minimal amount of stuff that we had, it was really interesting. I was very surprised. It's the claiming and taming of the different enemy types, or using them as weapons by luring them into an area, that causes the other player to have to counteract that and work out how they're going to battle you. It's really mad because of its huge in-depth detailed mechanics that lie hidden underneath all of the different furniture and enemy types that you could add to this game type. You've really got loads of closed doors if you're not into the single player. In truth, this is too low on the list, and it's not being shown in its true light. I think if you're remotely interested in what you see, you have to ask yourself about that single player campaign. I know a bunch of my listeners are really into the rogue hard survival type games, so you'll be like, yes, I'll play that one player, I'll open up everything, and then I'll bring people in to play in an arena. That is probably the way forward with this. Do not go near this game if you aren't into the genre. It will just annoy you, and it won't give you anything back. You have to put a lot of effort into the game's message, which is exploration in that single player campaign. Okay, amazing. We're in an area of gaming that I am totally at home with. 8-bit, side-scrolling, ARPG, Warlocks and shadows and crazy hotkey, awesome flashy moves, a side-scrolling roguelike arena setup, leveling up in real time during game, opening up cool new characters that have all got different move sets that are amazing, that look and sound amazing. You can see there I've got 5 characters I've not even opened up yet. This is a great little game, and anyone who's played it knows what I'm talking about. And of course, if it's the first time you've seen it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm getting it. This is our sort of first introduction to it, and you can see how lovely the map is with the parallax scrolling and that lovely design with the enemies, the way they're silhouetted, the noises they make, etc. But we experimented with the different characters to see what the range was, and it's massive, man. They're really different. There's a Technomancer guy which has got this hilarious techno disco move. You'll see him in a second. But feeling around with how varied the different character movesets are was a complete joy. Love that to bits. That really set the game up for me. That offers so many more layers for me. Replay elements, leveling up different characters that you then take to different missions, etc. It looks like a traditional side-scroller, and it kind of is, but we're dealing with waves, and we're dealing with waves not in a trapped arena. And it also allows you to slot in and slot out armor types, especially rare, found armor types. You can do this all on the fly, but then you can look at a Diablo-esque menu screen and start putting in the optimum build elements, etc. This is so damn good. You get a huge onslaught at the end of your stages, and leveling up in real time, and then just adding a little yellow marker to the hotkey that you want to increase the strength of is an awesome idea. Not a new one, obviously, but you see physical change in that move straight away. You don't have to pause the game. Nothing stops. It's amazing. The only thing I think is a little bit risque is that it's $17. And I imagine that is probably its peak price. I think that if you kept your eye on this, it would dip, on a 50% maybe for a month, and that is a steal. And this is also 4-player. And this also comes with arena and versus modes. We're playing the co-op mode. That is its strongest mode by a long stretch. That's the least confusing mode. The arena mode is a bit weird. You're just toe-to-toe with each other, and that doesn't, I'm really surprised. That's the first time I think probably ever said that, where a versus mode is not worth looking at. But this one's got such a cracking campaign mode. That's the one for you. Yeah, if you know, you know. Niddhog 1, Massive name for itself, wasn't it, on the streams? I think Pewdie and the big boys picked it up and it boosted it into the limelight, and of course they followed it up with Niddhog II. If you never clapped eyes on this before, it's a streamer's dream, this game, because it's got the funniest animations and one of the most simple but layered game modes that you could probably come up with. Side scrolling versus, all right, it's always side scrolling versus against the AI or against whoever. You get this great randomization on the actual character customization screen, but you also get huge amounts of variables. So that's the depth here. Loads, cheat codes, adding all kinds of low gravity stuff. I love that idea. There is a very good standard mode, which is what we played, but Niddhog II needs no introductions with how clever, popular and accessible that game model is. It's goddamn so addictive and absolutely amazing and instantly satisfying. Relatively funny story, when you do play this on versus mode with another couch co-op person, i.e. a human being, go into the menus and put a timer on, because we sat through probably about 25 minutes of one game because we just didn't clock that you're not really supposed to go. It ends when you get to the end of these squares. You see at the top there, if you keep pounding the other player and get past screen after screen after screen, you get on the final screen and you can end it all. But of course, the majority of the game ends up in these middle squares where you are literally toe to toe, back and forth, and it can drive you insane. It's like, honestly, it can drive you a little bit insane. After the game, after the ordeal, I was a bit dazed and confused, you know? I was just a bit, what's the word? Shell-shocked almost from a Niddhog overdose. It was pretty crazy. And one more thing I do want to say about this game, and this kind of suffers from what I call gang beast syndrome. That's not a new virus. It's to do with a great gimmick that a game has that they overuse or overprice on. This game is $12, all right? And it is a one-trick pony. That's what you have to remember. But it's bloody incredible. Oh, is it a good pony? Okay, regulars, another apology. You all know about this. I will put a link in the description for the new people, reviewed under a microscope by me about probably 10 days ago, maybe a bit more. What a mammoth for February to have Darksiders Genesis as a fantastic split-screen ARPG. I'm at mid-game now, I imagine, on the single player. Had a look at the trophies the other day. It's only one. I've got one bronze trophy. So that's a testament to the game's depth. It's a very healthy sign for the industry to have a brand new AAA game from THQ that really focuses on two players. I mean that from the ground up, i.e. I recommend playing this with someone else online or someone else on your couch. It doesn't show its true colours until you have two people with these two characters. As I mentioned, they interlock so well and go so damn well together when it comes to the combats and specials and complementary movesets. It's mind-blowing, it's brilliant. It's a bit of a roller coaster at the moment with the industry. It's strange. We've just had Fortnite go split screen, but we also have games like Call of Duty pulling all their split screen content. So it's ups and downs. This is one of the ups, thank God. And we're still just in February. It was one of my favourite games of the month, and I will be finishing it and going through it on hard. Incidentally, this footage is of us going through stage 1 on hard. I wanted to see if there were massive game-changing variables like you see in a lot of the Capcom games with the additions of new enemies and new moveset types. There wasn't a huge amount. You could tell you were playing on a harder mode. Not really ramped up rewards in that respect, but it's probably a preferred mode to play in. I think I may just split the whole game to hard and see what it comes out with. So I am going to bid you farewell. As always, everybody enjoy the rest of the month. Regulars, thanks so much for watching. New people, I'll see you next week for the next Couch Co-op video.